Okay, so right.
Yep.
So what is your favorite CW show?
Uh, let's see. The first one I was introduced was Supergirl, so I'm gonna have to say Supergirl.
Okay. Well, okay. So what is your second favorite one?
Flash.
Third?
Uh, s- the third one I would have to say would be Stargirl, which is the most recent one.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
surprised. I'm surprised Arrow isn't in your top three.
I was introduced to. It wasn't until I watched Arrow a lot later,
Yeah,
but
I see that.
obviously
Yeah,
I knew the main events what were
yeah,
happening, so I was caught up with it. But it was just that Arrow obviously being a little bit more darker.
yeah.
I enjoyed the heroes like the Flash. He's more comedic. He's more
Light-hearted.
light-hearted, very more like childish.
Yeah, I,
And what that's what I liked about with Supergirl. Although they are serious when it gets down to it. It's just you get to see the little bit of light-hearted as well, which is
yeah,
something that we're used to seeing from the Green Arrow, which I obviously me watching a lot of DC cartoons and the animated films is a bit strange to see from the CW one.
yeah. I see that. I mean, I watched The Flash. So my dad actually told me about The Flash back in
Mm,
2015, and because I'm a massive fan of how of special effects and films.
mm,
I was like, wow, how have they done the Flash's ability? So
yeah,
that's why I actually watched it. And then in when the Flash introduces Supergirl, and I went back, when I went over to Supergirl and watched the episode where they do the crossover.
mm,
In the Zoom's Joe, the series where Zoom was second series
yeah,
where he uses the particle accelerator, where his thing on his
yeah,
chest, and then
yeah.
I've got a problem with watching TV series that are like 6 seasons into 20 episodes. So it took me until maybe season, I think halfway through season 5 of Arrow to even start watching it,
Mm,
because I struggle starting series that have already fully gone into
yeah.
this series in. So I definitely say it for me. It's the Flash, Arrow, Stargirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning. I'm not a massive fan of Supergirl. I haven't even finished the last series yet. I just can't
Yeah,
watch
the
it.
last it's not too bad, but it could be better. I would have to say
Yeah,
that.
it's more they really let go on the CGI. Like I
Yeah.
can't. There's an episode where there's like drones flying around the DoD. Is it?
Uh, yeah. I think it's
Yeah,
the DOD.
yeah. There's drones and Supergirl has to destroy them, but the drones look like they're just been plastered on using green screen. Like they actually look like they're fake.
Yeah.
Not very good. But I mean yeah. But I'm surprised
But
Arrow isn't in your top three.
there's been moments in the Flash and Legends where they've had downgraded
CGI.
animation
Yeah, I mean Joe and
and
Savitar's was basically
not
bad.
necessarily with Savitar. I was thinking about more some of the running sequences
Oh, okay.
and Savitar I didn't really see a problem with. Uh, the drone thing
What
you
about when he
notice from
attacks Jay
time to
Garrick?
time.
When he attacks Jay Garrick of Earth 2, that's pretty bad CGI. I don't know if you've seen that scene or if you've seen it again.
Yeah, I've seen that scene. Yes and no, because there's if you look at different angles of that scene, in one of the if you get by the DVD, it actually looks a bit different from what that
All
was
right.
shown on TV.
All right.
So they do slightly fix it, so
All
it's
right.
not too noticeable,
Yeah.
but you can still see it. But it
Yeah.
makes it so that it's not much of a problem.
Yeah.
And that's what it is with these CW shows that you see some noticeable bits, some odd little weird
Yeah.
outplaced CGI bits, but you can
Would you say their CGI got noticeably better um, once they got the viewing figures? Because obviously, back when Supergirl was a very popular show, their CGI was a lot better in season 1 and 2. But now that
um
it has, because I think Supergirl is maybe the fifth most watched It's not watched as much as anything other. So obviously they want to put more money into the
Mm.
TV shows that are watched. And Arrow doesn't use a lot of CGI, so that
No,
saves the
Arrow doesn't.
yeah,
Um,
that
I
saves
would
a lot of
definitely
money.
say due to the fact that Flash, the CW shows started what in
2014.
2014, that sort of time, way before we're looking at movies like Endgame having big budget CGI and whatnot, improvements in technology at that point.
Yeah,
At the start of the Flash, CGI was great, and I'd say the same for Supergirl. I'd say when it comes to certain episodes, they will put in the effort to CGI depending on what the story is. For example, when um, Mon-El came to Earth, they added up the CGI for that,
yeah,
which was quite good. But when it comes down to some episodes where it's just more casual one,
yeah,
they'll lower it down because it's not as an iconic comic event,
yeah.
which I'm totally fine with. It's
Yeah,
just when it comes to the important bit,
yeah. They need
they
to
up
get
the
up the
CGI.
CGI.
They up the CGI, and I do see that. And
Do you think
you
they've ever
know,
gone down to Buffy standard though? I think they have.
well, the thing is, The thing with Buffy Standard is that Buffy the Vampire Slayer was the first TV show to incorporate a lot of CGI, and for
Yeah,
its time, it may have looked wacky in some sort of things like the live action Scooby Doo films, but for its time, it was great.
yeah,
And some of it still holds up today, even the remastered versions of the actual show that you can buy
mhm,
still hold up and still compared to the CW show.
yeah,
There's only a few instances where you can say there's been a Buffy moment when you look at one of the vampire scenes in that in I think it's the late season 2, season 3,
yeah,
where there's an odd one scene, but the majority of it is actually quite good and holds up to a degree.
yeah,
It's the same principle with 1999's Transformers Beast Wars. That was one of three first CGI shows in the 90s. If you look at the first season and the first half of season 2, the animation is a bit dated, but when you go to the back half, you can definitely see that okay, for a kid show, it does hold up compared
yeah,
to what we would expect to see
yeah.
now.
So things, yeah. I mean,
So
yeah. I think that I mean, obviously in Crisis on Infinite Earths, they different. It was evident that they put more money into um
oh,
like
definitely, yeah.
reverse monitor when he sizes up. That
Yeah,
was
they
that. I
definitely
mean,
did that, yeah.
that was like. I mean, I might even compare that to, I don't know, um, see Lucifer CGI in because Lucifer's picked up in season 4 on Netflix, meaning they have a
Yeah.
bigger budget, and obviously his demon face was improved, the wings were improved. I'd compare it to that kind of Netflix budget,
Yeah.
but because it's the CW and they really want to make money, they can only do that for
Mm.
1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah.
That isn't a sustainable budget.
No, it isn't. And like obviously you said, Netflix has got a higher budget. Like with shows that have been recently been on Netflix, like The Witcher, Star Trek
And Black
Discovery,
Lightning as well.
they and Black Lightning, the animation and the special effects have been so much better than any previous incarnation of what we've seen in media
Yeah,
of those stories so far. But like I said, when it comes to, for example, when it was an episode where they had um in Supergirl, they had the clone of the Russian
yeah,
Supergirl.
yeah,
In one of the episodes, they just have her flying around. You can see in one angle it looks a bit weird, but due to the fact it's just flying around, it suits what it meant to. And I can see,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'm used
It's
to
not a lot of time.
seeing that.
There's no point on like just spending too much time on one thing if it's just supposed to
Yeah,
be there.
there's no point on upping something that doesn't need to be upped
Yeah, exactly,
ridiculously.
exactly.
And that's what I see in Supergirl. Supergirl makes it so that the effects are right there when you want to see them.
Yeah.
And then when there's just a casual episode, they put in the effort for what it needs to be.